Alright, so, hey guys, I am back, and I decided to do something interesting and do a behind-the-scenes video, well, kind of a behind-the-scenes video of this animation, which, at the time of recording this, isn't posted yet, but this is the next episode of the Hero of Universes, and actually, you're probably watching this after you've watched the Hero of Universes Part 16. So, I'm just showing off some of the things that happen in this animation. Okay, first off, when we start, we see a reflection in the water. In fact, the platform he's standing on is actually supposed to be for like a mountain background. I thought it looked good for like a little platform. So, this whole area is just this small. And I just copied the figure and pasted it upside down and hid it behind. But yeah. Then, when the camera pans up, I didn't move the legs because, well, it's below the camera. You won't be able to see it, so why animate it? And then the camera starts panning, although the camera doesn't move at all. The background starts moving though. And then, as you can kind of see, the next frame, Goku shows up. And then now he's moving into frame. And there's no platform underneath him because you wouldn't see it anyways. So, then it goes all the way over to here. This is 3 different models. I didn't make any of these models, by the way. The only one I made was the one for James, but all it is a model that comes with stick notes, but I just added hands to him. And then I decided to make him turn to the side, and I had to modify the models a bit because the head would have turned with him. So I just took the head from this model and put it on this model and this model. Just try to line up the head so it looks like it just turns. And for the hair bounce, basically when he shifts forward, his hair moves up a little, and then it bounces downwards farther than what it did, and then it bounces back up into place. So it just gives that little bounce. And one thing you wouldn't see in the animation is I did act, well, you probably will see it for like a little bit if you look carefully enough. There's actually some dash effects that I colored the colors that are of Goku, so it looks like he's dashing. And this is another thing you probably won't see because this is a non-screen frame, so you won't even see him move like that. But I basically had him ready for coming into, well, never mind, I changed his hair back to normal. And then that model's just insanely big. And then I had the background. I could have made the background stay a bit longer, but oh well. And yes, I did add that punch effect in. And one thing that's kind of seeable in the animation is I'm starting to use these punch effect things. well, basically, it's showing like faster motion, and yeah, here's what that kick looks. Oops. Here's what that kick looks like without those. So yeah, it doesn't look that good. Also, I didn't do the screen shakes for this one because for these impacts because as Goku says, James is holding back. And yeah, I even added some of the punch trails for the back lip. And yeah, I deleted it because it's unnoticeable, but there was a punch trail connected to his kick right there. But it wasn't seeable because all of them are non-swinged. Also, there's a punch trail right there. Which you can't really see, but I added in just because. And I don't know why I stressed the impact like that. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Then the screen shakes. Then I made the camera insanely small so it would only show Goku's belly. And just shrunk him down very, very small. And put the crater. Then this part I don't really like because I was going to do good backgrounds. But then I forgot. And on the 91st frame. So James was going to punch him while he was lying there. But Goku dodged. And I didn't animate Goku while on the screen is shaking because, I mean, why would I? I mean, it probably would not have looked good that way. And now the moon. Basically, the moon's now on the right side and is on the outer layer of the figures, and it's just moving closer to the Earth, and I'm just making it bigger to make it look like it's orbiting around the Earth. And then when it gets all the way over to here, I push it to the back layer and start shrinking it down so it passes behind the Earth. And the moon is still fully modeled back behind there. Well, not fully modeled, it's just a stick figure. And then I just, when it gets back to the starting point, I add the crack and have it say, "Dude, you okay?" And then the whole interaction with the moon saying that the Earth's glowing, and then it's like, "Dude, you're healed. What happened anyway?" "Someone punched me." "Wait, what?" I just find it funny imagining the moon having that voice. And then just a casual walk cycle. Yeah, the camera just zooms in on Goku's face, and I just shrunk down the pupil because I wanted to make him look like he was like shocked or something. And then that impact. Then it cuts to here. Just use 2 different model mounts for, and then use this model way too much in the animation. And then I don't know why I made his. Now, one thing I find interesting that I did is I made his hair go up. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure this is how they did it in the anime. Basically, it goes up so it would match more when he goes Super Saiyan. And then instead of moving his hair down so it looked more like his next transformation, I just made his next transformation's hair go up and then go down to its normal state. And I wanted it to turn a bit slower. That's why there's more frames of that. Then this move right here. Oops. This is a reference to something. Basically, there's an anime I've been getting into, which is Naruto. In fact, I've actually finished it. Now I'm watching Shippuden. And basically, if you don't know what Naruto Shippuden is, or Naruto is, there's a character named Rock Lee, and he uses a move called the Primary Lotus, and he has a variation of it called a Hidden Lotus. James just performed this move. And then, well, he did it a bit faster. Normally, he hovers behind his opponent. But I just made him immediately grab the opponent. And then he starts diving headfirst with them. And then kicks them to the ground, making the crater even bigger. Now, this top-down perspective, funny thing is, his arms are his feet. And these are his hands. Now, what's next? The energy ball, I could have done it better. I made it too transparent. It would have looked better at this transparency. grabs the attack. Because, you know Goku, he always wants to save the planet. And, yeah, this is just him trying to do that. I really like how I head on to make it more cinematic a bit. And then he tried transforming, but ended up de-transforming because, well, he doesn't have enough energy. Then this happens. And then he just turns white. An aura bursts around him. Then he just collapses it like he did when he fought Jiren. Literally catches the attack in his hand and then destroys it. But this time he had to use two hands. Now, little impact right there for the landing. That impact thing was used a few times, and decided to end this part on this frame because there's actually 3 parts. And one thing you may have noticed is, okay, this part is called reused because this is just that first person test thing, but I removed the background. And one thing you probably noticed, Goku doesn't have his aura. Now, that like Ultra Instinct dodge effect I did, what I did was I turned down his opacity and then made a figure in front of it and then made the figure behind it less opaque, and then I did another one, made it less opaque, and then keep doing that until he's right there, and it just does that, which I think looks real cool. And honestly, he gets bigger because he's getting closer to the camera. Now, final part. It's loading. This video might be even insanely long. For an 8-minute long video, it used 3 parts. I'm probably gonna cut out the loading. Basically, this part starts as a continuation of what you just saw. Basically, it's what you just saw from another perspective. In the middle of throwing rapid punches, and then Goku dodges. That was as good as I could animate the UI dodge that I animated in first person, which looks way too good. You know, this was a bit choppy. He just teleports in a different direction. It's like, no, I'm facing this way. And then I had James with an attack. And then he did that on purpose so that he could get that kick in. But he knows that a direct attack probably wouldn't hit Goku while he's in Ultra Instinct. Yeah, I kind of overused the slow-mo in this. Then James transforms. Goku flies into another area. And this shadow. I literally just made an ellipse and just did this to it. I made it so opacity 40. I added 80% blur. And that's all. And it gets bigger as Goku gets closer to the ground. Then there's that shockwave again. Don't know why I added that. It doesn't look good. Then there's this. Nothing really good to see there. And there's that impact frame again. And I added so Shodan came in punching that it would take him time to slow down. Even though that wasn't really necessary. Then all of a sudden, yes, Goku went around the entire planet. That's what that was supposed to signify. And then fist right to the back. Well, to the spine. Then he just drops. Then there's these like smoke in the background. And I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. They're both the same effect. All I did was change up the frame they started on. Now, one thing that I don't like that I did is I didn't let this frame play out long. So the next thing you'll see is James saying, "Okay, are you radioactive? Because that don't look healthy." And then you'll be like, "Why do you say that?" And then it cuts over to her and it's like glowing green, and it's like, oh. Anyways, James turns around and sees Jennifer and Johnny in a pool of ketchup. And now this part. A lot of people may or may not remember this, but back in the first 1 or 2 episodes, James had the power to stretch his arms insanely long. This is a reference to that, showing that he still has the ability, he just doesn't use it much. And this reference is also kind of me being lazy and not animating him teleporting over to Professor Eradicator, because I wanted him to be at the center of the screen Reason why, if I moved him over there, if I zoom in, the floor disappears. So, I wanted to move Professor Eradicator over here so the floor doesn't disappear. I don't know why that's happening now. But, yeah, Professor Eradicator just like, huh? And then James just pulls him close and then powers up. There's like dark energy around him. And this part, he punches her in the face and it cracks her skull. And this could also be a nod to the Little Dude versus Ninja animation I made, where the little dude stick figure punches the ninja in the face and does exactly what James does here. But the one in this video lasts longer. Hold on, wait a minute. Is this right sound effect? Ah, it is. Actually, I don't think I put the right sound effect. Oh well. Too late to change it now. I was gonna see, would it sound better with this effect, and then have the swoop effect come in here. Let's see if that sounds better. No, it doesn't, because that blast sound effect just plays way too soon after one another. Anyways, there's just the mountains, and then this actual figure is called Shock and Anger. I found it on the Sticknose website, and I decided to use it for like a I don't know how to describe it, but it's supposed to show the path that Professor Eradicator followed. And since it ends right at this point, it's supposed to signify that Professor Eradicator must be right there. So, it zooms in, and using these because, well, I use them because it just looks like a crater inside the mountain. Then James teleports over. I should have added like the lightning around him still. And then he punches her, sending her all the way through the mountain. There's that shockwave effect again. But this time, it's sped up to make it look more impactful. Then, Professor Eradicator is just moving through here. Then James teleports in, and boom. That lasted a bit too long, but can't really fit you now, so. That looks decent. but I'm gonna set him back to 25. Then it hangs there. Shows Professor Eradicator hitting the ground. I didn't put a sound effect there, which I goofed by doing that. And then James lands and does that. Then, yeah. Powers up again. And that's basically all. Because the rest of it is just talking. So, if this video was actually interesting, just leave a comment down below and tell me if I should do this for the videos in the future. And thanks for watching, and see you everybody in the next video.